Hello everyone, to my channel. Today we're doing reading for sign of Taurus, and keep in mind this will not resonate for every Taurus. If you'd like a personal reading, this can be the first link in the description down below. Repeat that first link in the description down below for a personal reading. I also find a bunch of other things there in the description. You can find my Etsy shop, which has my tarot and my oracle cards on there. A bunch of things there on my Etsy shop in the description down below. You can find my stickers, which are holographic, the mini holographic version of my oracle cards, my pins, which are acrylic pins. You have Serapis Bay pin, Green Man pin, White Raven pin. All that's in the description down below on my Etsy shop. Just definitely go check that out. Go on there, go buy something. Really appreciate that. You can also find my shirt store, my website, different social media platforms I'm on, as well as Patreon. All that's in the description down below. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so. I do appreciate donations here. So Taurus, let's see what Spirit has in store for yourself. We have number 7 with Satet. Number 7 once again with Sachetta. Number 4 with Neckbet. Number 4 with Bess. Alright, Taurus, so let's have a look at your cards here. These are deities wanting to connect with you at this moment. They each bring a message and what their role is in helping you with, things. Okay. First one. Okay. Lucky number 7, Taurus, 7s and 4s. We have 77 and we have 44. We just have 2 7s and 2 4s. So it says to write, also connected with, I don't know how to say that word, the number 7. Sachetta is the netter of architecture, of building and construction. She wears a 7-rayed star on her head, surmounted by 2 inverted horns that link her with the dual star system of Sirius. The name Sachetta is closely connected with the number 7, which helps to define her quality. One of her meanings of her name is she who was provided with 7 horns. It says, as a cosmic architect, Sachetta's building blocks are the primal energies that manifest the universe. It was through Sachetta's plans, from a microcosmic to a macrocosmic scale, that the act of creation flowed. In the image on the card, she wears a close-fitting leopard skin and carries the scribe's writing reed in her hand, which rests on a column hieroglyphics. A kneeling figure holds up 2 onks of life, and on either side of the column, 2 notched palm branches stand upright, resting on the backs of the 2 frog-like creatures, linking her directly with the 8 primordials. Palm branches signify the measuring of time, for as Sachetta counts the notches, she records the years of the dynasties in the history and the deeds of the pharaohs. She also assigns the length of the pharaoh's life, and after death, she builds his home in the next world. In the duat, she records the names of the dead on her register, the names that Thoth will declare before Asu. As Thoth has the power of speech, so Sachetta has the power of naming each being, giving her signature to all levels of creation and keeping track of every individual action. Together with Matt, Sachetta was considered to be a female counterpart of Thoth. This close connection is illustrated in her titles: Lady of the House of Books, Lady of Letters. She was a patron goddess of writers and libraries, and is described with Thoth as being the inventor of the alphabet. It says building, creating, the construction of plans for future success, linking one's energies to a larger plan, the writer. Alright, so we have this goddess here connecting with you, maybe wanting to work with you on like building things, alright, like construction plans, like writing, things like that, Taurus. Alright, but there's something here that you're going to be creating with these beings here. Alright, you're manifesting it into reality, flowing. When you connect with these beings, you're going to notice things flow more for you. Alright, so we have the next one, which I have actually never seen. This one came up before, so that's interesting. It says to advance leopard fire. Bes is shown as a dwarf god with a huge bearded head and squat bowed body. Skin he wears is from the leopard family, so we keep talking about like that with leopards as well. Its tail touches the ground behind him. His name derives from Besa or Basu, the name of the animal whose skin he wears. He squats behind and holds a symbol as the earliest form of the Ankh, an emblem signifying magical protection. He is surrounded by fire, a god of laughter, joy, and pleasure. Bes was much loved by the Egyptians, and this character can be found in the Greek figure of Pan, the god of nature and ecstasy, as well as in the Greek Dionysus and the Roman god Bacchus, who also exemplify this quality of divine inebriation. Bes is described as originating in Colder Africa, possibly introduced into Egypt by early invaders. The early pharaohs were known for their custom of keeping a pygmy for the court's entertainment, a tradition followed by medieval European kings. Although the dwarf later became nothing but a buffoon, the real nature of the principle he symbolized was forgotten. Bes was a god of pleasure, and in his image adorned mirrors, pillows, and cosmetic jars. When he is shown playing a harp, Bes is also a patron of music and dancing. In fact, he presided over all the enjoyments of the human senses. Another aspect of Bes was his presence in the birth chambers as a powerful protector of the mother and child. As protector, he assumed the nature of a warrior god, carrying knives to destroy the enemy. Alset refers to Bes as protecting the limbs of her child, Horus, meaning the Duat he protected as well as entertained the deceased. The word Bes, Sheta, means secret initiation, and Bes is a powerful keeper of the threshold. He is a giver of initiation into the hidden realms, where even Horus is forbidden to enter without his permission. In later times, Bes was worshipped as a sun god, simulating both the forms of Horus as a child and of Autumn as an old man. One description has Bes with the body and wings of a hawk, joined with the body of a strong young man and the head of a very old man. It says Bes contains the secrets of transformation with his misshapen animal body. In said festivals, the tail represented the energy taken from the earth and assimilated into the body, and the earth/flesh. The fire of transformation is contained, and it is through pleasure, through the ecstasy of Bes, that this creative fire is liberated to nourish and rejuvenate not only the physical body, but also the other invisible, more subtle bodies. It says, the promise of pleasure and fulfillment, rejuvenation and joy, access to a forbidden dimension. Taurus. Yeah. You're going off into hidden realms here, hidden spiritual realms. That's what you're being given access towards, alright? It feels like you may be building something there. You're going to be protected as well. There's going to be like pleasure, something pleasurable, alright? Now, whatever that means to you. Yeah, the germination, goddess of the south. Nekba is the twin sister of Egypt and the goddess of the south. Her symbol is a vulture, and the cult of this huge flesh-eating bird was extremely ancient in Egypt. It says Nekbet is closely linked with the vulture goddess Mut, the world mother, the brooding gestation principle that nourishes new life in the egg until it reaches maturity. As a fertile nature principle, Nekbet is said to be a form of the primeval abyss, which brought forth the light, and as mother of the sun god, she became, with Mut, intimately related with Aset. She was called Father of Fathers, the Mother of Mothers, who hath existed from the beginning and is the creatrix of the world. The center of Nekbet's worship was the city of Nekbet, and as Ujit was the head of the company of the gods in Ujit, so Nekbet was a chief deity of the third nome of Upper Egypt, and the head of the company of the gods. Structures of the two goddesses adorn the temple doors, with Nekbet placed on the right side as the right eye of Ra, and Ujit as his left eye. They are also given special rooms on either side of the inner sanctuaries. When the pharaoh assumed rulership of Upper and Lower Egypt, they were crowned with the double crown of Nekbet and Ujit, and their symbols, the vulture and the snake, became the symbols of the two halves of the country. They are worn as part of the royal insignia, and together as two uri. They encircled the solar disk of the pharaoh, the winged serpent as well as the vulture personified Nekbet, and in the serpentine form they reared from the forehead of Ra to destroy his enemies with fire. It says Nekbet's importance in religious ritual is demonstrated in this report from the tomb of the high priestess of the vulture goddess. It says in the reign of Ramses II, His Majesty commanded that the governor and residents be commissioned to bring the divine bark of Nekbet to the Set festival and to carry out her sacred rites in the houses of the Set Jubilee. And the Duat Nekbet watched over the dead, and was said to transform their eyes into brilliant light. Here, in this card, she wears the white crown of the south, with her symbol, the vulture, hovering behind her. Her left hand is raised over the Ujit eye with the lotus plant, another symbol of the south, growing below. Nekbet was also associated with the moon. It says, the gestation of plans, success through applying spiritual principles, clear-sightedness. See that? We have something here growing. Alright? Something that you've accessed other worlds, hidden worlds here. That's growing. Okay, this could be a lot of different things here. We keep talking about new lives, so that could be like actual new life, like a child or something. Can be like writing, creating creative projects, something spiritual here, Taurus. But either way, you connect with these deities to bring this in, and it is successful. It says, from Set to shoot out, eject, pour out. So Setet was the female counterpart of Khnemu, was worshipped from the earliest dynasties in Abu, or the city of El Elephantine, situated on the river Nile. Like Khnemu, she sometimes wears ram's horns, representing the solar principle, but here she wears the white crown of the south, surmounted by the cow's horns that identify her with the goddess Het and Aset. This identification with Aset is further emphasized by Setet's connection with the Sirius, for Setet was the goddess of the yearly flooding of the Nile, and the inundation surrounded by Sirius rising in the northern skies. Says through her, connecting with star energies with the rising of the Nile at the right time. She's associated with the number 7. As a goddess of fertility, Setet pours out the life-giving waters to revitalize the dry, parched lands, beginning the early yearly cycle of growth. In the sky above, her upraised hand is the constellation Canis Major, where Sirius is located. Cosmic waters flow from her hand to merge with the terrestrial waters of the Nile. The bow in her right hand and the arrow in her name also indicate the sending of stellar energies. The energy that Setet directs is not only the physical water on which all life in Egypt was dependent, it is also the energy necessary for spiritual growth. The waters that purify and nourish the spirit. This is purification, initiation of new project, and the right time for action, sending one's energies outwards. See that? So it feels like something new, Taurus. The point is something new. It can be a project. You already know what it is, but you're working on it. It's going to be successful here. Alright? You'll be seeing it in your reality. But you're also being purified as well. So, that is the messages for you. That's what you're connecting with. So let's get some charms for yourself. Alright. So we have the symbol of the sun, planet. And then we have Sagittarius. Sagittarius sun. Alright, so I don't know if you know a sun sign Sagittarius, or maybe if you are actually sun sign Sagittarius and you have Taurus placements, but either way. We have this white raven which you're connecting to, white raven being peace, cleansing, purification, protection, all that stuff there. We have Aries, so you can have those placements, one around you. Alright. We have Ra, Hathor. This moth girl you're connecting to. The moth can be connection to the moon. Moth is also a spiritual initiation, transformation, awakening of psychic gifts and abilities. And then we have joy. We have happiness, Taurus. So, that's all I have for you. Like I said, first link in the description down below for personal reading. Also got my Etsy shop going to go buy something. Really appreciate that. If you want to see more content, don't forget to like, subscribe. Bye, guys.